Welcome to the second edition of ReLawnch Celebrate Our Champions. What is Celebrate Our Champions? Celebrate Our Champions is an inspirational video series where we are celebrating the journeys of one of our women champions. I'm Anusha Singh, a corporate communications consultant, columnist, and former lawyer. So who do we have with us today on Celebrate Our Champions? We have Deepta Vivek. Deepta Vivek is a lawyer turned employee director and head of finance and performance at Vahura. Welcome, Deepta.
Thank you, Anusha. Really nice speaking with you today.
Deepta works with us remotely from Pune. So, Deepta, to get my facts absolutely right, I'm going to look at the little script I have here so I don't miss out anything because you have an interesting journey of transitions. You made a shift from being a qualified lawyer to working at an HR consultancy and then moved to handling varied profiles at Vahura, right from recruitment to spearheading management and finance. We'd love to hear from you about your journey of transitions.
Sure, Anusha. Yeah, I just finished my law and had to move cities, and that is where my job hunting had started. And after a long time, I found a job in a HR consultancy, which I grabbed, and I really loved interacting with people, and that's how I ended up working there. That short stint of 9 months really helped me hone my skills on recruitment level, and that's how Vahura, which was then Rainmaker, approached me, looking at my the legal background plus my recruitment background now combined, and that's how I landed doing the legal recruitment work in Vahura. I started off with recruitment for our Bangalore office. And when I took my maternity break is when I moved more towards the back end. And that is when our team at Vahura also was expanding, and we needed certain processes and guidelines to be set and put in place internally. And that's how I started working towards this. And that is how it took me to a very specific process eventually, which was more about, invoice making and setting up a whole process around from the beginning of starting with, sending the invoices and getting the money back. Which kind of moved me toward the finance role. We of course had an accountant who was doing all the core accounting work, but we needed someone to look into this invoicing level work. And then eventually we also needed someone who was like an intermediary bridge kind of between the accounts team and the management. And that's how my role kind of, panned out, and I became that bridge between both the levels. And externally also with our CFO team and the CA team and all that, I was the one who was communicating and managing stuff internally. And of course the Vahura team expanded a lot, and with the growth, this became like a full-time job, and revenue figures and all that came into place, and that's how I ended up being the finance head at Vahura. Employee director was something that happened 2 years back. This has been a role that has been with Vahura for some time now, and I got elected 2 years back, and it's been a very interesting profile to manage as well, and been enjoying that.
Interesting profile to manage, as well as a lot of roles and a lot of responsibilities all through. And the amazing bit is, as I had mentioned specifically, you work remotely from Pune. And along with that, you work from home for a good amount of time in your career, right? Yes. How has that been? I mean, typically that's not the traditional scenario. Until the pandemic happened, it was not the given scenario, right? Though that forced shift was not required. It was by choice. It was part of your lifestyle. So how did that pan out for you in your personal and professional life? The whole working from home, not just concept, but actually practicing it.
It has been a wonderful experience for me. Now I've been working from home for almost 10 plus years, and it all started by default where we were moving offices, and in between we didn't have any office in Bangalore. We just being a very small office back then. And I found it extremely difficult to all of a sudden move into the work from home concept. But slowly that brought in a discipline and a lot of planning, communication into my space. And then of course post my maternity break, when I came back, I opted for a flexi work from home option. And it worked out really well for me to balance both my personal life and my professional career as well. And I'd been able to devote as much time to my son while growing up as well, and managing house. And as he grew up, I also realized it gave me a lot of time for my own self. I am personally very, I am a big Bollywood fan and love dancing and singing as well. So I joined a dance class. I, could, make sure I have that time out, take that time out to spend, with dancing and honing my skills for my own personal stuff as well. So I realized having, set, a discipline, a planning, and also communicating that with our team and with our organization works really well. And ensuring that the team knows my time, my boundaries as well, was really helpful. And I realized people are really nice and helpful, and they're always ready to work around our time as well. And so that has been the basic gist of my work from home journey as well. And it's been really eventful.
So few things that completely pop out of this is your own sense of discipline, your planning, your zeal to make it work, and your wish to also enjoy your personal life. Not just, it's not just around family and children, but also about your own personal interests and hobbies like dancing. So as a personality, you were very keen on having a clear common ground for everything and a level playing field for you as as Deepta as a whole. On the other side, what do you think that organizations can do to enable many more such Deeptas in their in their companies, in terms of their culture, in terms of their mindset? Because the reality is that for a lot of organizations, working from home and remote working is something new, unfortunately, right? It's been a forced shift. So your views on the value of agility and the need for organizations to support and build such agile workforces. If you could share something around that.
So this is definitely the need of the hour. And with pandemic, we know that this is how the future workforce also is going to move towards. Probably more of work from home, a mix of working from office and work from home, a combination of both that. For this, I think organizations have to just ensure a couple of things. One, to facilitate the members with the right technology, ensuring they have the required facility to work from home, from ensuring they have good internet connectivity and other things also. If this is something that members want to pursue as as a long term thing, then also members themselves can ensure they have the right place, right setup, from a good chair to a good desk, for them to continue working from home as well. What I find is key here is also the connect between internal teams and internally within the organizations, which is really important, where we ensure we are talking to each other on a regular basis. There are team calls, there are organizational level calls. Everyone knows what has to be done at what time, who has to do what, so that having that open communication channels throughout, probably starting a day with a call or a video call, really helps. And once in a while having unorganized or fun calls as well, like we in Vahura have this chai session every Friday. We've also started with a lot of employee development stuff, which is called EMOT, where we have some fun sessions, fun quizzes, some games, Bollywood related stuff, functions and all that, which really, boost the employee morale. Another thing I realized with the pandemic, I think it's important to sensitize all the members and organization as a whole or towards, the added stress or anxiety which is associated, either being, socially distant, not meeting your colleagues, employees as well. So sensitizing bit is also important. Having an open channel where members can reach out to some person, somebody internally in the organization with whom they can, have a conversation, a stress-free, confidential conversation, goes a long way, is what I've realized. If required, organizations can also, open channels with, say, an external consultant, which we have in Vahura, also moved towards, where we have have a facility where, members can reach out to somebody. There is first level of reaching to somebody internally, and there is a second level of reaching to somebody externally also, to, relieve their stress and talk to somebody, which I think is very important. And overall, the organization level, everybody gets sensitized towards this, and they are, kinder and helpful towards each other as well. I think this is the key for everyone.
I think you've touched upon a lot of very fundamental aspects that are necessary for any organization to follow as, the grounding towards even thinking about building an agile workforce. Thank you so much, Deepta. Wish you all the very best. Happy working from home and have a great career of transitions ahead.
Thank you, Anusha. It was an absolute pleasure talking to you. Thank you. Happy working from home to you too. Yeah, thank you.